Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, who knew that all you needed was a goal-scoring striker? It's made a massive difference to our Crystal Palace team. We've got our first Premier League win on the board. We are looking okay and just about comfortable in the league table. But today, well, we've got a small matter of Manchester City, so I wouldn't bet against things going wrong. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 70 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today with Crystal Palace, and you know what? Things are starting to look alright. As we mentioned in the intro, it is amazing what a goal scorer can do. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today, as we try and continue a little Carabao Cup run in a fourth round against Forest, and then face City, who are flying near the top, then please do put a thumbs up on it. So let's go and have a quick look at what's been happening since you were last here. And weirdly, before we go to the schedule, we start with a signing. Now, it's not a very useful one because it's a player we can't register, and he's not really a superstar. But the director of football, I don't think I've ever seen it before actually, where they've signed someone immediately outside of a transfer window. Now, it didn't help that we had the full squad done already, so we couldn't register anyone else. But we did get this player, Joey Keating, on the 25th of September. He came in as a 2.5-star centre midfielder, was a free agent. By the way, absolutely brilliant signing for the money. I'm not sure he's going to be a first teamer, but I will register him for the squad in January if we can. He's played a season at Plymouth, he's come through the United Academy, and he's okay, but certainly someone he'll make a profit on, and only £6 a week as well. So Dougie Freedman, definitely doing some good work. But let's go to the schedule and look at the main bits, because crucially, as we mentioned in the intro, we've wrapped up our first Premier League victories. And in fact, we've only lost one game since you were last here. The good news is we've had that easier run of fixtures, and you can see against the side you'd maybe expect to be in a relegation battle, and a lot of those that were in that bottom 6 or 7 in the pre-season odds, they are the sides that we have got our victories against. So really pleased with the progress. Solid at the back, but now scoring more goals, and that is the difference when you sign attacking stars. So you were with me for deadline day and the 0-0 against Liverpool. We followed it up with a 1-1 after the international break. That was away at Wolves. We went behind early on, but Albert Grombach off the bench got an equaliser. Then came the big one. A week later, a 3-0 win at home to West Ham United. And look who got two of them. Ruben Pulido popped up with a header early on. That was a nice one from a set piece. It's been our main threat this season. But we've got a striker of Premier League quality, and it showed so much of a difference. Guy Vaknin with a brace in the second half, and that was exactly why Dougie signed him. So the trade-off for Neto was well worth it then. We got through against lower league opposition again in the Carabao Cup. Guy Vaknin came on to wrap it up after Nicolao's early goal. But to be fair again, we've not had a real test in that competition. Forest will probably be a bit trickier. Of course, if you remember, Forest battered us in our final game with Ipswich in the playoffs. They played us off the park, and albeit it was individual errors, they thoroughly deserved to get through in that one. Leeds was a 1-1 draw as well. Guy Vaknin, not only is he a good player from open play, he can also put one away from the penalty spot. 1-1, and he gained us another point there. We did, though, lose at home to Newcastle United, one of the better sides in the league. No real shame in it. Gaspadori scored both of their goals. Morgan Gibbs-White with one for us. But then back-to-back wins against Burnley and Bournemouth. At Burnley, it was an Ivan Toney brace. He had a really good game in that one. And then against Bournemouth, another Ivan Toney brace. We've got two strikers who are finding goal-scoring form. So it's not just Vaknin playing well, he's making the other players around him better. And as we go away to Forest today, the big decision against an injury-hit team is, do we go for our first team or do we go for the reserves? We've got 5 days off before we face City, and we played Bournemouth 3 days ago. So my thought is, anyone who's fit I'm probably going to play, but there'll surely be 2 or 3 who are a bit too tired. Let's go and find out the only way we know how though. Into the game we go. The dynamics for the first time looking pretty good. Forest did stay down. They lost their championship playoff final. They've got a wonderful side and I'm sure they'll come up this year. So let's get through the tactical meeting, make the changes recommended. We'll be back in a minute to run through the team. Let's see how many of them are fit. Well, a bit of an opportunity this one's turned into. We've got Ivan Toney slightly struggling for fitness, but I am going to play him from the start. He's still fresh, he's got a low injury risk, and of course he's in great form at the minute. So we'll give him 50-60 minutes, see how he gets on. The other big news, of course, is that Joey Keating, who we were just talking about, is not ineligible for the Carabao Cup. So we can put him on the bench and at least give him his debut for the club. So the rest of our team is as follows. Rajkovic back in goal. He's done okay the last couple of games. Richards, Pulido and Nicolau the back three. Sort of in and in between Nicolau and Williams at left centre-half. Mainly because Williams isn't as good, but he's been playing better. So he's had more of the football at the minute. The wing-backs are Kelleher and Couto. That is another option for us too. Kelleher in at left centre-half and then pushing out Lodi at left wing-back. But he's tired for this one. A midfield three of Pasalic, Davis and Morgan Gibbs-White further forward. With Guy Vaknin and Ivan Toney up front. And then quality on the bench if we need it. Let's go and get through to the Carabao Cup 4th round. It is another lower league team. But they're Premier League quality. So this will be tougher. Let's go and see if we can get through. Well, a pretty big game and some good players in this Forest side. They've got Joe Gelhart up front. We've got the likes of Flynn Downs in there, Connor Roberts, Angus Gunn, all familiar names. Brilliance on the bench, but they're missing Taiwo up front, who is one of their star men. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a positive night for us. Going to tell the lads to pick up where they left off. There's quality all over the pitch. So let's get through the tunnel interview into the first half. Not a packed Forest City ground, which I would have expected. But FM does treat them harshly in the Cups. Straight into the first half we go. We're going immediately as well, which is unusual. So let's see if that leads to a goal or an attacking chance. Looks a little bit slow, but maybe the lad's just keeping the ball. Through towards Vaknin, Dorrington mops up. Could have been a chance early doors there. Big clearance downfield from Forest, only as far as Nicolau. He plays out to Davis and Pasalic, and now Pulido. Nicolau again into the centre circle. You can see we're much better in possession. We're a little bit more aggressive going forward now. And we can switch it up with that long ball to Vaknin too. There are options and there are various methods of attack. Though Nicolau has been robbed again. Really got to watch out with him. He's rated so well on paper, but he just makes silly mistakes all the time. As Richards into Davis, that's an awful pass. And as I say, we look more confident, we make a mistake. They've got him on the left-hand side and Malcolm puts it away. 1-0 down after a minute. That's why we saw it from the kickoff. And Tom Davis has got to look over his shoulder because Castro is chasing him and that was pretty abysmal. Well, 20 minutes on the clock. We're encouraging the lads as we come forward for the first real time. Morgan Gibbs-White in shot saved and Nicolau was up there for some reason. Doesn't take his chance. He's straight at the keeper, but you can see from the stats since the goal, we have been dominating but not been able to take it. As Pasalic finds Toney up front, wide to Kelleher. And this has become the habit of today. So many missed short-range passes. I'm not quite sure what's going on with them. That's a stunning strike from Guerrieri. And it hits the post and goes wide. Keeper was beaten Rajkovic. We're living dangerously because we're dominating the game, but we're making ridiculous mistakes at the back. So my cup dream might have to live on a little bit longer. It's not going to be happening this year as Roberts puts the corner in. Davis heads away. Gibbs-White will chase it wide, of course, against his former club. Veloso shoots from distance. Deflection to Gelhart. 10 to the break, we've been the better team. But again, we're giving away silly chances. You cannot afford for defensive errors here. As Veloso in his own half. Can we finally get on the front foot? McNally gets the ball over halfway. Chance to come down the right. Again, no real opposition here. We've been very poor defensively in this game. Nicolau on this left side. Oh, not again. I swear to you, nearly every game he's given away a penalty. Can someone work this out for me? We'll see the penalty in a minute, because this is doing my head in now. Look at Nicolau's attributes. He's got great composure. He's a brilliant decision maker. Everything defensively is very good. He plays short, simple passes. He marks opponents tightly, which is maybe part of the issue, but he's considered a very good man marker and a very good tackler. So I don't understand what is making him give away a foul every single game in his box. He's making awful decisions. He's costing us games. I mean, thankfully for Premier League survival, this is just a cup match. But I'm really annoyed regardless. It's 2-0 Forest. We're going to have to go for it second half. But if we wanted our decision for the City game, it will be Zach Williams to start, because we can't have this every match. Our best defender statistically is the one that continues to let us down. So at half-time, the lads will be disappointed, and rightly so. We're going to say you've been terrible. No reaction. I mean, I agree with the assistant on that team talk. Nicolau will come off because he's been pathetic. On will come Zach Williams at left centre-half. I'm also going to take off Tony because there's no point risking him now. We'll bring on Ribeiro, who's been playing there a fair amount. With second half to come, we'll go attacking. We are going to chase this game for everything. Let's see if we can get on the front foot and scare them. An early second half goal could change everything here. Though here come Forest on the front foot. Probably not the start to the half we were looking for. Pulido heads away as far as Gelhardt. He's got space on the edge. I mean, where's the defence today? Is this arrogance? Is it complacency? I don't know. Have we just lost confidence after a poor minute? Because this has been pathetic defensively. And we've generally been pretty good in recent weeks. And maybe it is cup against lower league sides. You feel like you're going to walk through them. You're in good form. I don't know, but it's been a little bit disappointing as Rajkovic plays out to Pulido and Richards. Wide to Couto, but again looks to turn back. Then goes for the big ball towards Vaknin. What can he do? He's been the magician so far. Easily dealt with by Dorrington. He still forces him backwards though. Doesn't give up on it. Long kick downfield as far as Gelhardt. Pulido wins it, but again, the midfield not quite there at the moment. Through ball to Gelhardt. It's turning into a horror show. Rajkovic doesn't cover himself in glory then. I don't know what to say. We know Forest are a good side, but as the commentary says, it's getting embarrassing. So we're going to make the rest of the subs get on sort of younger players. Maybe Luigi Castro can come on for Davis. I'm looking up front. Do I rest Vaknin now? It's tie over. I think we might as well. We've got to get people fit for next week. Maybe Pasalic gets a rest. He's a little bit older. John Buckley or Grom back on for him. Oh, in fact, no. We'll bring on Joey Keaton. We'll give him his debut. He can't really play in that role. He likes to be further forward. So do you know what? Just for this game anyway, let's just chuck him in there. What harm is it going to do at this point? Deep line playmaker on support. We have got 40 minutes to go. And this has been one of our worst performances in charge. In fact, no, it has been our worst since taking charge of Palace. The frustrating thing here as well, as we're back with Forest on the attack, is if you look at the stats of the game, it's very similar. 8 or 9 shots each, 4 on target each. But we're letting in every chance coming at us. I mean, going attacking, I think you've seen this, and I mentioned it in the other save when I got a bit of stick in the comments as well. We are not managing sides that are good enough that we can just go attacking and chase a game with no consequence. You've seen it in every save and at our last couple of clubs in the head coach. When we go attacking with the sort of underdog sides we're managing, or the average sides in terms of ability, certainly in terms of physicality, we just get overrun. We've not got the ability to compete. It was an even game on the stats. Forest are now on top, purely because we've tried to attack. So we're going to go back to balance, see if we can get a goal, maybe keep this respectable. Ribeiro's touch there goes at least 30 yards. It's awful control. Couto gets it back to him though. That's good play, and it deflects him for an own goal. We probably didn't deserve one from that, but Luke McAnally does us a favour. Fair play to Ribeiro for persisting, but he's still a championship player. I'm not having any more than that. 9 shots, 4 on target, but Forest had the penalty and a couple of chances gifted. And as a result, they will go through in the Carabao Cup. We are going to need a big response against City, because if we defend like this, it is going to be an absolute calamity. Kelleher's really struggling at left wing back again. He's someone who's not done well all season there. Maybe we'll put him on a more defensive duty, see if he can react that way as Castro finds Outfist. Back to Zach Williams. Only a minute of stoppage time, so this would be a consolation. It's out to the left to Kelleher. He loses out to Roberts. Of course he does. Why would you win a tackle? You're only rated 15 or 16 for it. As Moore gives it to Downs. Back to his goalkeeper. I'm a little bit suspicious as to why we're seeing this. Seems since the last FM update, we just have to see the last minute of a game regardless. This time, no, Forest get in. And a shot goes over the bar. 3-1 to the host. They're comfortably through. God, we better play better against City. This has been a disaster. Rajkovic will play out from the back. Again, this is going to lead to nothing. We're literally just watching the end of stoppage time. It's not a key highlight. We do not need to see it. The final whistle goes with Kelleher in possession. That is a night we'd quite like to forget. We're not very happy with the performance or the result. Now make sure you react on Sunday. City coming up next. This could be a very long episode. Well, here we go then. Back for the Manchester City game, and maybe the FM gods are on our side after all, because Manchester City are without top goal scorer Erling Haaland. 10 starts, 10 goals in the Premier League. Only puts him second this time, but look at his Norway stats, by the way. He is unavailable for this one, so we've got a slight chance. Away to the 4th place side in the league, they are of course brilliant. So let's just see, everyone should be fit. They've got the likes of Martinelli just in case they didn't have enough already. So let's go and see if our full 11 is fit. Nicolau is not going to play, regardless of what happens next. So the question is, do we put Kelleher in at centre-half, which I think we will, and then Lodi in at left wing-back? Just gives us a bit more defensive solidity today. So we're going to try that. It's another new experiment. If not, we'll go back to Zach Williams. Same 11 aside from that. Let's get into it and hope we play better than against Forest. Well, here we go then. You can see the real mix of new and old when it comes to City at the minute. They're obviously missing their star man, but young David Godwin is a good striker. They've got the likes of Jurovic, Thuram, Norton, Cuffy and Stansfield in. But then looking at players that have dropped out today, the likes of Rodri still had experience in that squad. As to the likes of Laporte, Diaz and Ederson, and of course Phil Foden still in there too. So let's go and tell the lads to do what they've been doing in recent league games, because if you take away the Forest one, we've been alright this month. Generally, the rule this season has been to lose or draw against the top sides and then to win or draw against the bottom ones. But without Haaland, I've got a little bit of hope. I wonder how long it's going to last. Probably not long, because Foden's got a free kick with 6 gone. That one's headed just over the bar. Do we drop to cautious and invite pressure? We did it against Liverpool at times and it worked, but I want to try and stay in the game as Stansfield comes over halfway. Such a good player, gets it out to Palmer, picks it up again. Down the line for Cole Palmer, broken into that first team now. Back to Thuram. Shot is blocked by Davis. Corner kick. Can we defend set pieces? It's going to be a key part of today. We've generally been pretty good, but we've had the odd horror show. So let's see how we go with this one. Foden in, free header, and in off the line. Thuram had his header blocked. It hit Pasalic on the line, but then he somehow just put it into the back of the net. I'm not sure how he didn't get enough on it to clear it. Ivan Toney lost out in the air there. We're talking about 6'2", 15 jumping reach, and he's losing out to Thuram, who is, better be a big lad, because otherwise I'm going to be upset with Ivan. What are his stat attributes? He is 6'4", 17 in the air at 29. I don't think we can compete with that. They're better physically, they're better technically. I mean, they're just a better side. As Foden, brilliant effort. Rajkovic tips it wide, but it's only a corner kick. I'm dropping to cautious because this could get embarrassing. I didn't expect the Forest result. I definitely expected this one. Without Haaland, I thought it would be closer. But this side are superb. We are not competing with the top 4. As Gibbs-White brings it away, we've had no shot on target. City haven't had many great chances, but they've been on top regardless. So let's just deal with them at the back. As Ruben Diaz plays out here to Thuram, the goal scorer who separates us so far. Godwin dropping deep up front there to Martinelli, and Jurovic can pick it up again. Out to the left-hand side. They've got so much quality in this team. Look at the way they're making us chase them. Back to Laporte as centre-half. So comfortable in possession. We can't lay a glove on them. It's starting to look like one of those training sessions, isn't it? Might not be Pep in charge anymore, but the game plan has not changed. As Norton Cuffy releases Palmer on the right. Foden's inside of him. It's a brilliant ball. Oh, why penalties every single week? Please. Please stop giving away penalties. I've got no more answers. We've even got stay on the feet when tackling, and it's just constant. I don't know what more I can do about it. Let me know down in the comments, because what on earth can you do to stop this? It is every single week. Who will take it this time? Because of course there's no Haaland. It will be Cole Palmer to step up. It's saved by Rajkovic for a corner. But that's probably not going to be the last penalty of the day. We've seen plenty given in this year's edition, and we are really struggling to stop teams at the back. As Foden puts the corner into the front post, Pulido away. Gibbs-White brings it down. Of course, we leave no one up for corners at Palace, and you've seen why. We really struggle defensively, but they're toying with us. We're giving away fouls constantly. We're giving away penalties. We just can't contain them. City are a brilliant side, and at half-time, the dominance continues no matter what tactic we play. But luckily, it's only 1-0 at the minute, though there are 40 seconds left. Parisi comes down the left-hand side, wants to change that. Gets to the byline, cuts inside to Jurovic. He finds Martinelli. Back to the edge of the box. Gibbs-White with a challenge, but it's straight back to another City player. Norton Cuffy into the box, and it's 2-0. It's simple as that. I mean, he's a very good player, but he's probably not one of their best, which is a bit of a worry. I wonder how good he has become in this game. We'll have a little look in a minute, but we're 2 down at the break. We've played awfully in both tactics. I don't really know what to do. So let's just go to the opposition. Do we accept, like the opening day at Arsenal, that they're just too good for us? He came on pretty early, actually, for Stansfield, didn't he? He's not great, but he's very good. He's still better than any of our wing-backs, and he's their backup. So we'll get through to the second half. We'll try and contain, but I'm not sure this is going to be anything other than embarrassing. Maybe not as embarrassing as Forest, though, as Foden takes the free kick. Again, the wall doesn't cover the post. The usual problem this year. Rajkovic saves, but the second one's in. Please, whatever happens, please in the winter update for FM, can you get the wall to cover the wall side of the goal from set pieces? It's infuriating. It's a constant problem. I mean, it's not going to affect this game. This could be about 50-0 if they wanted it to be. I think they're taking pity with us at the minute. Palmer flicks on there. Polido heads up more than away. Martinelli into Rajkovic. We're going to encourage. Try and get at least a bit of respectability. But when City are in this form, it's hard to compete. How on earth they're fourth, I don't know. Who's going to compete with them at the top of the table? I'd love to know how many titles they've been winning. As Ruben Diaz picks the ball up at the back to Norton Cuffy. Down the line to Palmer. Cuts in from the right. It's been constant all day. Finds Foden. In one-on-one. 4-0. I'm speechless. I don't know what to do. They're too good. I think we're going to have to stop those balls going inside. So Lodi's going to go there. Whoever plays left centre-half seems to be awful at the minute. It's so much harder to get right than the other side. I'm going to put Kelleher to wing back on defend. Couto will do exactly the same. And then I'll take off Lodi for one of the centre-halves. Probably Zach Williams, or should I bring on a youngster? What difference does it make at this point? Let's bring on Mustafa, one of the younger players. He'll go there with Richard switching sides. And then looking further forward, Tom Davis on a yellow. You're off for Castro. I'm also looking at Pasalic struggling for Grombach. And then further forward, Ivan Toney up front's been poor. His good run lasted 2 games. Ribeiro on for him. We'll save 1 in case of injury. We'll try and keep it simple. But 4-0, Manchester City are wiping the floor with us. And here we are 10 minutes later. Probably the longest run we've gone without conceding a chance in this game. Norton Cuffy loses the ball to Ribeiro. He can bring it forward here on the left-hand side. Switches to Castro. Knocked down for Grombach. Can we get a goal maybe? Vaknin in, rounds the keeper. Lovely dink, but just wide. He probably should have scored that in truth, but when you're getting no service in a game, it's very hard to liven up. We've got 20 minutes to go. I'm going to make the final sub. We'll bring on young Malaki, the other fullback. He can replace Couto because he's a natural right back, so it's a rare chance to play him in position. Rajkovic is man of the match despite being 4-0 down. I mean, this tells you everything you need to know. Again, Kelleher's had an absolute stinker. He's playing in his actual position now, and he's still the worst rated player on the pitch. It's a big problem. We've got this year where there's 3 or 4 players who are rated really well among our best players, and they're just not performing every week. It's a real problem. But Manchester City absolutely batter us. I've read it this time. I've taken a minute. I'm not going to fall for the assistance team talk. A humiliating defeat for the 2nd time in a week. And now we need to get back to the drawing board. We were ashamed in the cup. We've been awful in this one. But City are one of the best teams. We have got a run for the rest of this month. Villa at home. But then after the international break, Watford at home is going to be crucial. Norwich at home at the start of December the same. There are some big games coming up. What we're going to return for, though, are a big game against the top side and one of those expected to be nearer the bottom. It is Chelsea and Leeds. Leeds came up last season from the Championship, of course. We played them with Ipswich, and Chelsea are one of the big 6. So let's see how we get on. Just wanted to see quickly how City were doing, and actually, they've won back-to-back titles. They're the best team in the league. They're the best team in the country, and they have shown exactly why. We'll be back in late December, though. We've still got that buffer to the relegation zone. But at the moment, Leeds are that side, so we're going to have to get a result. You all like to see failure once in a while, don't you? It makes you feel better. 7-1 aggregate defeat across 2 games, including to a lower league side in the cup. If you enjoyed that, please do put a thumbs up on it. I'll try and cheer myself up for the next one. If you want to stay up to date and see how we go on, will we get dragged into a relegation battle, or was it just a blip against the best side in the league? Then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back with a huge episode of our Build a Nation Save tomorrow, as we'll be asking our board if we can turn professional. Come and join me to see what the answer of that one is. But a massive thank you for your support as always. I really do appreciate it. and I'll see you back here next time, hopefully for a few less goals conceded.